Hello everyone, my name is Palani Karthik. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this video, I'll be talking about my digital assignment 3 DA3, which is given by Premlata ma'am. So in this digital assignment, we have to do Python database interfacing. So for this interfacing, we have taken the scenario of a company. So the company is organized into department, and each department has a unique and a particular employee who manages the department. The start date for the manager is recorded, and the department may have several locations. A department controls a number of projects. Project have a unique name and a location number. The company's employee have attributes such as name, ID, address, salary, gender, birth date are recorded. An employee is assigned to one department, but one employee may work for several projects. The employee's dependent table is tracked for insurance purposes, where the dependent's name, birth date, and relation to the employee is mentioned. So this is the entity relation diagram which you can see on the screen. So this is the relation table which we have done based on the scenario which I have said just now. So we have created the table employee which has employee ID as its primary key, birth date, first name, middle name, last name, gender, salary, and address as its attributes. And we have created a table department which has department ID as its primary key and department name and number of employee as its attributes. Then we have our project table, which has project ID as its primary key and project name as its attributes. And supervisor table, which has supervisor ID as its primary key, name and title as its attributes. And we have location table, which has location ID as its primary key and country, state, and city as its attributes. And we have table dependent, which has the name, date of birth, gender, and relation with the employee as its attributes. So all the tables values are mentioned over here in the notepad, which can be seen on the screen for supervisor, for employee, for department, for project. So all these values are also in this Word file, which is submitted and will be given in the description below uh, over here. You can take a note of it and see it. So we go to the location where the Python file is saved. So over here we open the terminal. So it's opened over here. So I'm just giving code dot. This opens the file, the Python file in VS Code. So this is our VS Code, and we can see the Python file with its script. So you can see there are two tables, two modules. One is CX Oracle and Tablet. So before running the program, it is very necessary for us to pip to install these modules like pip install CX Oracle and pip install Tablet. So CX Oracle has some problems. So we have to go to VS Studio build over here, which is over here. This build over here, the VS build tools, VS build tools, which opens you over here, VS Studio build tools. And if you launch it, you get this screen. So if this screen comes, so it downloads the file which is missing, which was supposed to be downloaded in CX Oracle. So remember, while pip installing Oracle, make sure you have this in your VS Studio installer. So coming to the code, so we have defined a class database access which has many methods. So the first method is init. So it takes the keyword self and it places in place of its username and password, which we will give in the main function. And then we have def connect, which is a method for connection. So we use the cx oracle's modules method connect. So it connects using this username and password which you have given over here, and the local host is mentioned over here. So Your localhost may be different, so you should adjust this accordingly. And if this self-connected is true, then it will print the database is connected to Python successfully. If it's not printed and it's showing some error, it will show please check your login credentials once again, since they are not correct. So we have the next function, which is the most important function, which is execute SQL. So basically, this is a try block. Try block, you can see over here, try and accept. So it creates a, so in this try, you can see it creates a cursor object using the self.com.cursor. So where the self.com is presumably a database connection object, it executes the SQL query using cur.execute and it checks for SQL query is a select command by inspecting its first few characters. If it is a select command, then it fetches all the rows using cur.fetchal, cur.fetchal over here, and it retrieves the column headers from the cursor description using list comprehension. It prints the fetch rows using the tablet function with the specified table fancy grid. So this uses the tablet module which we have imported above. If not, if not, then it prints the queries. If it has executed successfully, then it will come the query executed successfully and operation is done. Suppose if there is some error, then it will show error in executing the SQL query with the error along with it, as you can see, comma E. And we have our def close connection method. So if we click on close, this is a function which closes the connection between the SQL and Python. Suppose if it's successful, then it will show you it's successful. If not, it will show the connection is not closed. So this is the main function which is over here. So first it will ask you the name and password, and it will put it into the first function, which is the database access, which puts the username and password in this function. And then we put database.connect, so it connects to the database. Suppose if it connects, it gives it's connected. If not, it gives it's not connected properly. So while the dba dot is connected, while it's true, then it will give you enter your choice, either one or two. Suppose if you click one, then you have to enter your SQL statement, and it will take your end semicolon and it will execute it, and it will give show the output in your terminal. Suppose if you click 2, then it will close the connection using the close connection which is mentioned over here. So this is the Python code which I have showed you. So over here in the terminal itself, we can execute the program and we can see. So we can execute by using the following thing, right? So my name is this 22BCE1773.py. So if I put Python 22BCE.py, then it will like start executing. So it'll ask your username. My username is system. It'll ask your password. My password is 123456. So my in is successfully connected to the database, and it'll ask this. So actually, this is the run SQL. So I have already created the tables. You can see I have created in run SQL the employee description of the employee, project, department, dependent, location, supervisor is mentioned over here. So you can see the schema of all the tables from here. And here, actually, I have 10 questions which are to be done. So we look at them. So the first question is creating table employee. So for creating table employee, I have the code here. So enter your choice. So first I want to enter SQL query and I'm copy pasting. So you can see it is showing the name, it already exists. So I have already created, so it's not showing, but it already exists. For example, you can see here, select ostrich from employee. See, it is already being created. That's why it's showing it has already an existing object. So the second question is to insert into the employee table. So we have the code over here. Go to terminal and I'm selecting one and I'm inserting into the table employee. with the you can check the description from here employee and you can paste accordingly over here. So enter. So the query executed successfully and operation done. So it shows that our query is successfully inserted into the employee table. Now we'll go to the third question, which is update the salary of the employee with ID 1 to 55,000. So for this, we can use the update command from SQL and we can just put it in our file which is running here. So again, I'm putting choice as 1 because we have to write the query and update where the employee ID is 1 to 55,000. So it is successfully updated. Suppose if you want to check, you can just check select. We have already written up. So 1 is changed to 55,000. So you can see it's changed to 55,000. So we'll go to our next question, which is retrieve the information about the projects by using a join. So retrieve information about total projects for each department by counting and grouping using a join. So first we have to join both the things, the department and project, and then we have to use group by and count each in department. So for project and department, if we go to the SQL, project and department, if you see both has department id and department id as a common attribute, a common table, a common column. So using that you can combine both and then use group by and you can do it. So over here it's there. So again, I'm giving one and copy pasting. So you can see select department name as DEPT name, count P dot project ID as total projects from department, and then join based on department D dot department ID equal to P dot department ID. So if I enter it, I will get the required output as you can see on your screen. So the next question, which so guys, let's continue with the fifth question, which is retrieve data by joining employee department table project tables while filtering for employee ID equal to 1. So for this, we go to the run SQL and we see. So if you notice employee, project and department, we see that DEPT ID is a common attribute among all, common column. So using this DEPT ID, we can join three of them and we can get the result from here. So we can see the answer here. So the employee table is aliased as E, the department table is aliased as D, and the project table is aliased as P. So the on clause defines the condition for joining. Defines the condition for joining. The E dot DPTID equal to D dot DPTID joins the employee and department table based on department ID, and D dot DPTID equal to P dot DPTID joins the department and project based on department ID. The where clause filters the result to include only the records where the employee ID equal to 1. The E dot F name as employee ID selects the first name of the employee and renames it column as employee name. And D dot DPT selects the department name. P dot project name selects the project name. Overall, this query will return the name of the employee with ID 1 along with the department name. So if we look at employee and if we look at the first thing, the employee ID equal to 1, we'll get his name as John. So we need to get John in the output. So over here, fifth one. So I'm copying it and pasting it the same place. One and copy. So I'm getting John along with his department name and project name, which is the desired output which we wanted. So we will go to our next question. Retrieve the employees and their respective supervisor's name by joining employee and supervisor tables. So this is the same join as we looked at before. So this is the answer. So we can see the select keyword over here. We all know the select is used to specify the columns that we want to retrieve the database from. And e dot fname as employee name. This selects the fname column from employee uh, as employee name. This selects the fname column from employee table and aliases at employee name. So we all know alias is used to provide a temporary name for a column in a result set, and then s dot name as supervisor name, which specifies the table from which columns are selected. The it This selects the name column from the supervisor table and aliases it at supervisor name. So from employee table, this specifies the table from which the columns are to be taken from, and we are joining it with supervisor with alias s on supervisor id equal to s dot supervisor id. So this is the condition specifying how the two tables are related. It ensures that only the rows with matching supervisor values are included in the result set. The result of this query will be the list of employee names, fname from the employee table aliased with as employee name, along with their corresponding supervisor names, name from the supervisor table aliased as supervisor name, where the supervisor ID of the employee matches the supervisor ID of the supervisor. So we'll just copy it. We will take choice as one again and we will paste it. So we will see where uh, the supervisor ID of the employee matches the supervisor ID of the supervisor are these both, Emily and Sophia. So we will move on to the next question, which is retrieve data from employee table by filtering based on birth date equal to 1979 December 12. So this is a direct question. So we are selecting from employee table where birth date equal to this. So we are using run SQL. So we need to use to date and we have to specify it as year, month, and date. Year, month, and date. So this query selects all the columns from employee table where birth date is equal to December 12, 1979. It uses toDate function to convert the string into a date format. That's it. So we do the same thing. We go to choice one, we select it, and we get Sophia, who has her birth date as 12th December 1979. So we will go to the next question, which I guess is retrieve information by calculating the age of employees. So we have to basically calculate the age of the employees. So this is so we are selecting the f name, whose f name along with their age. So however, so this query selects the f name column from the employee table and calculates the age of each employee using the months between function. So this calculates the number of months between two dates. So syst dates gives our current date and birthday gives their birth date. So if we subtract them, we'll get the number of months between when they were born and till now. So you'll get the total number of months, and if we divide it by 12, we'll get the number of years. That is their age. So select F name, trunk months between sys date, B date by 12 as age from employee. The trunc function is used to truncate the decimal part of the result, giving the age as a whole number, because we usually want age as a whole number. We don't want it as a decimal. That's why we have used truncate here. So same one, copy paste. So I got all from employee who and all are there: Jane, Michael, Emily, David, Sophia, John, who has age as 35, 28, 38, 41, 44, 33, using this formula which we have set above. Now we will go to the next question. Select average question is calculate the average salary of employees in the employee table using an SQL query. This is a question. So selecting, we know we have to just select the table. So we are using select average salary as average salary. So we are aliasing the table. So the table in the output will be displayed as average salary from employee. So we are using the average, the aggregate function. So This query calculates the average salary of all employees in employee table using average function. It selects only one column named average salary to display in the result. So I will do the same, copy and one. So you can see the average salary is over here. Average salary is 64,666.7 for all these six you see over here: Jane, Michael, Emily, David, Sophia, John. If you take an average, we'll get it as 6466.7. And we'll go to the last and final question, which is delete record from project where ID equal to 2. So we'll use the delete function from run SQL, delete from the table name, which is project, where project ID equal to 2. So this query deletes the rows from project table where the project ID column is equal to 2. It removes the project with ID equal to 2 from the table. Basically, that's all. So I copy this. I go here. So before doing that, I'll just show what and all are there in the project table. So select asterisk from project. So this shows you all where and all the date, all the records of project table. So we will need to delete where project ID equal to 2. So it shows it's successfully done. So after deletion, I'm going to check whether the record is there or not in the table. So one. So you can see the project ID 2 is no more in the table. So it is deleted permanently from the table. Suppose if you want, you can add it once more. So we have completed the 10 questions which is given for our DA3. So this is a schema, a rough database which can be used in general for any company, and we have used all these entities, and we have also uh, converted the ER diagram into relational model. Um, So, guys, we have finished the 10 questions assigned to us. So, we can clearly see that if we go to run SQL and put select asterisk from project in run SQL, we are getting the output here. And if we go to Windows PowerShell where we have our Python script, and if I click one and my select asterisk from project, we are getting the same output over here. So we can say that both have been successfully interfaced. The Python and the database SQL have been interfaced using the Python script. So we can also put enter your choices to finally exit, and the connection between SQL and Python has successfully closed. So thank you, and feel free to comment anything below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.